Jolan True, fellow captains and admirals. My name is Jerry, and I am hailing you from the Antari shipyard with a new video today. This video series is inspired by something I just saw over on the Facebook community, and I thought that would make a really nice and easy video to try and answer the question. So today we're going to be talking about the combo counters to the U.S.S. Sao Paulo and the Captain Worf that came in the Too Boldly Go set. So the question comes from Edward Glinster. Hey guys, just wondering about a rule I find kind of strange. My brother has the Too Boldly Go faction pack and has a habit of using the U.S.S. Sao Paulo with Worf in every game, and it's rather frustrating as it seems like he can't miss. Is this the case, and are we reading the rule correctly, or is there more to this, / a counter, other than Worf's relatively average captain skill? Cheers. And you can see there's already 6 comments on it, but I figured I'd throw my hat into the ring here. So the combo that he is speaking of is this one here. The U.S.S. Sao Paulo Defiant Class 3234, Tech Weapon Crew for 20 points. When attacking, if this ship spends a Battle Stations token, place a Battle Stations token besides this ship. So we've got a ship that continually is going to have battle stations. And then Captain Worf, skill 6, Federation Klingon, cost of 4 points. When attacking, during the modified dice step, spend a battle stations token besides the ship, convert all blanks to hits. And yes, that does include, because he's spending the battle station, converting the battle stations to hits. So effectively, this Captain Worf card becomes the same as the version of Worf from the 2017 Federation vs. Klingon core starter set, where he converts all blanks to hits. And they're the same cost point, and some people might say that this one does a little bit more because he's converting the battle stations as well. But that's normal for a battle stations. So a little bit of disclaimer here. I don't know exactly what packs or cards that Mr. Glinster owns. I don't know which card packs you guys own, but I'm going to try and keep this geared towards more of the newer cards with some older cards thrown in, just to kind of err on the side of caution. So what are some of the ways to counter this combo? Well, you can strike first. You can try and outmaneuver it. You can try and do some attack cancellation. You could do some token removal / denial, which is an interesting concept we'll talk about. We could target the captain itself, or we can go the route of just having a very high defense and taking the brunt of the attack. So first, we'll talk about strike first. So in the Cardassian faction pack, the Cardassian Union, we just got this new Anabrantane card, Captain Admiral. It states, discard 1 Dominion crew upgrade equipped to this ship and place 2 time tokens on this card. Perform an attack with this ship's primary weapon -1 attack dice. Now note, that is a free action. That's not even action you spend. So you get within range 3 of the Sao Paulo. You hit Anabrantane. You use his free action to discard a crew. A lot of times, myself included, I will combo him up with Elam Garrick, this 1-point crew, just because it's 1 point, and it's kind of thematic with Elam being Anabrantane's son, that Anabrantane would eliminate his own son. But if you have the older card Shroud, you can put this into your build, and that will allow you to discard Shroud first before you have to discard Elam, allowing you to do Anabrantane a second time. Now, we've got the pesky issue of 2 time tokens, but if you guys play faction mixed, you can always throw Ezri Dax on that build as well. She will reduce the time tokens by 1 placed on the captain. So now, if you're running the Captain Anabrantane with Elam Garrick, Shroud, and Ezri, now you get to run Captain Anabrantane every single turn until you're out of crew cards to spend. well, Dominion crew cards. For the older cards that people might have, Captain Admiral Worf is another option. These cards get a lot of play. Again, it's an action, but it's another attack during the activation phase. So both Anabarantane and Worf give you the ability to attack before the combat phase. So you can possibly attack and get his shields down, put him in a bad position to where the next round he may not be able to survive. Especially with Anabarantane, because Captain Worf is a skill 6. Anabarantane would then attack in the activation phase. And then when you go into the combat phase, Anabarantane is a skill 8. He's going to attack first again. So he'll essentially attack the Sao Paulo twice before the Sao Paulo can fire. So the next kind of strategy is to outmaneuver the Sao Paulo. There are a lot of cards that just recently came out that kind of help give you a little bit more maneuverability. The biggest one is Romulan Cloaking Device. So it is a 1 per ship. It does add +2 SP for non-Romulan ships. But the ship may either use the 1 bank left or right or the 2 bank left or right template when performing a sensor echo action. That's very important here. The last piece of text where you're on the Romulan ship isn't as important. Depends on how you play. If you're playing pure, then great, that's going to help you. But if you're not playing pure, you definitely want to combo Tyrul and Romulan Cloaking Device together. And I've gotten a lot of questions about this. I did verify with some sources that are close to WizKids about how this combination works. So Tyrul, she sets the cost of the Romulan Cloaking Device down to 0. However, if you place Romulan Cloaking Device on a non-Romulan ship, that +2 SP penalty still kicks in. So Tyrul sets it to 0. For example, let's say we're equipping this to the U.S.S. Defiant, just for thematic sake. If you equip Tyrul and Romulan Cloaking Device, Tyrul sets Romulan Cloaking Device down to 0, but you're still on a Federation ship, so that check still happens. So now Romulan Cloaking Device is back up to 2, and then you get the +1 for the faction penalty. So the most you're going to be spending is 3 SP on the Romulan Cloaking Device. And I do have this represented in Utopia fairly well. Now, without Tyrul, if you put Romulan Cloaking Device on the Defiant, you're going to be paying 2 SP +1, so up to 3, and then +2, so 5 SP. So Tyrul essentially is a 2-point discount for Romulan Cloaking Device, but Romulan Cloaking Device adds cloaking to any ship's action bar, and then it allows you to do the sensor echo action as long as that ship has the sensor echo action on its action bar. So that's the big kicker there. The IKS Takuji or Takag perform a sensor echo action even if the ship isn't cloaked. If the ship is cloaked, you may use a 3 maneuver template for this action. So you can be in the Sao Paulo's 90-degree forward firing arc and then sensor echo action yourself out of it. Waylay is another new card from the Klingon Blood Oath faction pack. It allows you to move after firing, so if you have a higher captain skill, you shoot at the Sao Paulo, you can try and bank yourself out of arc. Koloth, same thing. When an opposing ship within range performs a maneuver, place 2 time tokens on this card, and then you get to do a maneuver with a speed of 2 on your dial. So Koloth is another get out of dodge or get yourself into a better position card. Now, there is an older card that I left here at the bottom, kind of off by itself, and it's because I want to talk about another kind of, it's not really an outmaneuvering, more as your intention to crash yourself. So there is credence and cadence to a strategy of allowing your ship to be in the way. And what I mean by that is a lot of times, especially when people do a direct joust, these matches turn into a game of how do I not hit my opponent's ship? There is credibility to the theory that you can try and guess your opponent's next maneuver, or just put your ship in the way and make them maneuver around you. If they misjudge and they hit you, they don't get any actions. However, if you say you mess that up and you need to still have your actions, you can put Ilea on there. That way you don't lose. You don't lose your action. So you don't want to run into them, but you want your opponent to run into you. So there are a lot of times where 3-on-3 fleets, especially in games that I've played where I don't think I can outmaneuver, or I don't think I can get into a better position by flying by, I will just move my ship one forward and let the chaos ensue and see how many ships kind of run into me and stack up. The cool thing is I still get my action, but they don't. So I might still be in the better position of having a token to give me some kind of quality where they do not. So the next strategy we're going to talk about is attack cancellation. This is a strategy that is a tale as old as time at this point. There are multiple ways to do this. I put these 3 cards up. 2 of them are from newer faction packs. One of them is an older card. Tora Zial being the newest. She comes from the Cardassian Union pack. When defending, during the compare results step, target the attacking ship and remove this card from the game. Cancel the attack. This ship may make an attack against the attacking ship with a primary weapon -1. So she's a range 1 card, so I'm assuming that's when the Sao Paulo is coming in to hit you hard. She can cancel that attack, and then you get to attack after. So you could possibly, if you have a higher captain skill, cancel the Sao Paulo and double tap. So you can attack first, Sao Paulo goes, use Tora Zial to cancel that attack, and then double tap the Sao Paulo to possibly kill it. The Sao Paulo itself is not a very strong ship. It's not a big ship, so it doesn't have a lot of hull, doesn't have a lot of shields. Interface generator comes from the Romulan faction pack, which I know is a little bit harder to find these days. Hopefully there will be some reprints, but here's to hoping. So it's 1 per ship. When defending, after all dice have been rolled, if this ship is cloaked, discard this card. Cancel the attack. This ship suffers 1 hit. So this obviously got to go on a cloaking ship, so Romulan, Klingon, or any ship with Tarul and Romulan cloaking device. But basically, this allows you to let the Sao Paulo get all these attack dice, roll them, get his perfect quality, and then say, yeah, I'm not taking all that damage. So I'm going to cancel your attack and I'll just take 1 hit. And that can be 1 hit to your shields. It can be 1 hit to your hull. It's just another way to kind of deny that attack. An older card, I forget which pack it comes from, but it's conditional surrender. When your ship is attacked, before any dice are rolled, discard all of your crew upgrades to cancel the attack. You must have at least 1 crew upgrade on your ship in order to use this ability. Now, this card was popular back in the day because there are no restrictions on it. It's not unique. It's not 1 per ship. So a ship could roll up and have... Well, really, a fleet can roll up and each ship have a copy of Conditional Surrender. Alright, the next kind of strategy we're going to talk about is a token removal / denial. There are cards out there that allow you to remove tokens from opponent ships. But what I'm going to focus here more on is denial. Because it's another one of these interesting strategies that's going on. The easiest way to deny your opponent an action is to give them Aux power tokens. So the Ferengi faction pack released these photon torpedoes where you don't have to have a target lock. You just place 2 time tokens on the card, and you get to target an opposing ship, and then place an Aux power token besides that ship. Now, the rules state that you cannot fire this weapon through an obstacle. However, you can target somebody through an obstacle. Even though you can't roll any attack dice, you still get to place the Aux Power token. It's kind of one of these things, you reach beyond the planet to be able to do something type of thing. So if you guys are playing with the planet in the middle, that's an option for you. Again, Kolana from the Blood Oath pack, if you're not playing pure and you're mixing, she allows you to place one less time token on weapons. So you can run photon torpedoes every turn. Or the alternative is to run 2 versions of photon torpedoes. You can use Sakona. They're all independents. She will discount them to 0. So there's a thought there. Another thought is after firing photon torpedoes, if you want to give them a second Aux Power token to ensure that next round they're not going to get an action, you can run this Mirror Universe 1-point crew Brunt. At the start of the end phase, you may discard this card to target an enemy ship at range 1 to 3 and place an Aux Power token besides the target ship. So let's say in the attack phase I hit them with my Ferengi photon torpedoes, gives them an Aux Power token, and then during the end phase I'm worried that they're going to run a green maneuver to clear that one so they can still grab their action. I can go ahead and discard Brunt to give them a second Aux Power token. So now they may do a green maneuver during the next round, but it's only going to get rid of one Aux Power token, and then they can't take that action. So they cannot take that battle station's action. Another card you can kind of compare or combo Ferengi photon torpedoes with is Verderon Pulse Trap. Setup, place a mine. So this is during the setup of the game. You place a minefield token anywhere that is not within range 1 to 2 of the edge or the play area. I'm sorry, of any edge of the play area. When a ship moves within range 1 of the minefield token, target that ship and place an Aux Power token besides the target ship. So a lot of times, Verderon Pulse Traps do get used in some of the games that I play. And what the enemies, or myself, what the strategy is to kind of hang near the Verderon Pulse Trap. You want all of your combat to happen near that Pulse Trap. Because that Pulse Trap's going to give them an Aux Power token before they take the action. So that, again, denies giving them the Battle Stations token to use. Of course, there are other ways around the Aux Power tokens, especially with the new Alliance, with the Alliance 2 pack, and I'll be talking about that in my upcoming video, the Captain's Table, where we talk about the crew upgrades from Alliance 2. Another interesting card that I kind of threw in here that I thought was kind of cool, especially if you're going to run like an Anabrantane. Again, this will be pretty expensive, but each time an opposing it's Obsidian Order, which is 1 per ship. Each time an opposing ship within range 1 to 3 spends a battle station's evade or a scan token, place a token of the same type besides this ship. So it may not help you during the combat. Well, it may not help you before the combat, but the minute he spends his battle station's token on the Sao Paulo, all of a sudden whatever ship Obsidian Order is on gets a battle station's token itself. So it could possibly use that battle station's token during the defense round when you roll your defense dice. So it may help you to convert some of those defense battle station results into evades. The next strategy we're going to talk about is targeting the captain. So I've got a combo up here that is it was kind of recently discovered. I'm surprised not more people talk about it. It does require you to play mixed, but that's the Gold Madrid, Leonard McCoy, Esri, Dax combo. So Gold Madrid, typically the Admiral version or the Captain version is fine too. He allows you to target a captain, and then based on if the captain skill is 7 or higher, if it's 7 or lower, 6 or lower, Gold Madrid discards the captain. If it's 7 or higher, Gold Madrid rolls 2 defense dice. That captain rolls 2 defense dice. And if at least 1 battle station result is rolled, you don't discard the captain that Gold Madrid's targeting. Now, The bad thing here is that Gold Madrid gets discarded when you use this action. Unless you have Leonard McCoy from the Calvin faction pack on here. Flipped on his side where it says when a captain equipped to the ship would be discarded, place 2 time tokens on the captain card instead. And then if you've got Ezri Dax, she states that if a captain's going to get time tokens, place 1 fewer. So Leonard McCoy is going to place 2, Ezri Dax is going to get rid of 1. So the Captain Gold Madrid will be able to be used next turn. So not only can you get rid of Skill 6 Worf off the Sao Paulo, you can get rid of all of his captains in 3 turns. As long as you're within range on all 3 turns. But 3 turns, you can get rid of all of his captains. A couple other cards that kind of target captains would be Kang from the Blood Oath. You target a captain on an opposing ship at the start, and then when you attack, you get to roll, or you get to add 2 crit results to your roll. Again, Kang is skill 7. We're talking about a skill 6 Worf, so Kang's going to attack first. So it's possible that Kang gets a really good attack roll, and then you're going to discard Kang to add 2 crit results to that roll to just kind of put the last nail in the coffin. Another new weapon coming from the Secrets of the Tal Shiar pack is the Thalaron weapon. Again, this is going to be a scimitar-based weapon, but if your opponent doesn't have an ambassador, admiral, or crew, they have to get rid of a captain. So that's another way to get rid of one. So the last strategy we're going to talk about is high defense. So this is just, if you're going to go in, you're going to take this beating head on. You kind of want to ensure that you're not going to take all the dice. So the 2 best ships in the game for these kind of high defense builds are the U.S.S. Sutherland, which is top tier, or you can do the Enterprise D, which I say is probably a tier below the Sutherland. While their wording is different, they effectively do the same thing. Now, they have the exact same slots. The only thing that's different, really, is the fact that the Enterprise D's got 1 hull, which cost it 3 extra points. So, similar ships, but the Sutherland's a little bit better, just because it costs a little bit cheaper. I like to pair the Sutherland with the Shield adaptation card that comes from the Dreadnought card pack, I believe. The card has an ATR 4107, I think it is. That's just off the top of my head, so if I get that wrong, let me know in the comment section below. Discard this card if you don't have any active shields. So as long as you got active shields, and trust me, you can bulk the Sutherland shields up, especially with some of the cards that came into Alliance. So you can possibly bulk the Sutherland shields up to 7, because you can do a max of 3, run shield adaptation. Now, when defending, the attacking ship rolls -2 attack dice when firing a primary weapon, and -1 attack die when firing a secondary weapon upgrade. I'm assuming with the Sao Paulo, they're also running the phaser cannon upgrade. So shield adaptation can help in that regard, because I believe they fire with the phaser cannons, and then again with the primary weapon. So the rest of the cards here are kind of cards that kind of help you with defense. Sulu, he's an action, but you get to add 2 defense dice to your attack, or to your defense roll, and then you get to convert a battle stations into an evade. Pair him up with Riker, who gives you that 3rd defense dice, and another battle stations to evade conversion. Or you got Taral here, who gives you a battle stations to an evade conversion as well. You pair all 3 of those cards, you're rolling 3 + 3 defense dice, and you're going to get to convert 3 battle station results to evades. Klingon cloaking device, generally you're going to typically run this on a Klingon ship that's cloaking, but again, that's another conversion from a blank to an evade that has saved my bacon so many times when playing with the Vorn. Again, I like to pair Klingon cloaking device and Taral together. But if you're going to play with a Sutherland build, you can definitely pair all 3 of these crew together, bulk the shields up on the Sutherland, and then place shield adaptation. Again, that's pretty expensive, but it's completely doable. So that's all of the strategies I kind of came up with kind of quickly on thinking about this, but it's a great question. And that spurns another question. Do you guys have any other cards or combos out there that you would like to see countered? Please, I would love to hear them in the comment section below, and possibly get to use them in another video kind of like this. Again, comment below what kind of combos or counters you want to see. Definitely continue the conversation there. Give the video a like if this is the kind of content that you want to see. And again, subscribe to the channel, share the channel with other players. We're trying to help grow and kind of expand our reach into the attack wing realm here. All right. Thank you, everybody. Antari Shipyard out.